What up, guys? The Bench Buddies are back with my Week 9 NFL Power Rankings. This week, I got the Browns moving up a lot here. Seahawks falling after an ugly loss against the Bills at home. So we'll jump into it 29 through 32. Dolphins stay at 29. Close loss even into his return. Tyreek played well. Waddle played well. The team definitely looks a lot better with Tua back, but they're 2-5 and they still lost at home. And now you go into Buffalo. That's not a favorable matchup. Could be 2-6. And this Dolphins team, they got to get right quick if they even want to have a chance to get into the playoffs. Saints, Titans, Panthers all join the loss column as well. And none of those games were really competitive, if we're going to be honest, especially the Titans. Saints actually play the Panthers this week. So it's a battle pretty much for last place between those teams. 25 through 28. Patriots move up because of their win over the Jets last week. They went from last to 25th, and they showed something that I think that a lot of these teams haven't shown, and it's resiliency. Patriots were struggling, but they figured out a way to win a game, even with Drake May getting hurt, leaving, still found a way to win that game. Jets keep tumbling down on the list, even after the Devontae trade. It's not working out for them, and they get the Texans at home on Thursday. It's kind of the last ditch resort here. If they can win that game, maybe they got a chance at the playoffs, but if they lose that one, I think you got to officially can them. Same with the Raiders and Giants. Raiders played a good football game against the Chiefs, but just couldn't do enough at the end. And then they go to Cincinnati this week in a huge game for the Bengals. Giants get the Commanders at home. Disappointing loss to Steelers that failed 2-point conversion. Clueless. That's all I got to say about that play call. Maybe they've practiced it a million times, but in a game when you don't know what the other defense is doing, I don't know if I'd be very confident in that play call. 21 through 24. The Browns move up 7 spots here. Obviously, you saw earlier because they defeated the Ravens at home. Huge win. And this Browns team looks a lot better with Winston at quarterback than Watson. They responded to Winston. That looked like they were motivated, really had a reason to go out there and play some football, and they won that game. Now they're 2-6. They can somehow get a win against the Chargers under Winston. They'd be 2-0. You never know in this league in the NFL, but the Browns definitely moving up, and they're definitely going to be a lot better team moving forward with Winston at quarterback. And they still have Nick Chubb, and they have this week, and then they go into a bye week, and he'll really start to gain that 100%. Nick Chubb will in week 11. Jaguars tough loss on the at home to the Packers on the game-winning field goals. Their old kicker actually that beat them, and then they go to Philly this week. Colts benching Anthony Richardson for Joe Flacco, which I think makes too much sense at this point after he subbed himself out. He hasn't been playing too well, but I know he's only started 10 games, and I think you got to let him sit the rest of the year under Flacco. It's a great learning experience, but they get the Vikings this week. And then the Cowboys, man, this team, I think you can them. I know that the division is all right this year. Commanders are playing some good football, but we don't know what could happen to them in the second half. But the Cowboys, this team just can't figure it out right now. They have to go to Atlanta this week. Falcons are a good team. I think it's a good comparison for the Cowboys in the Falcons game. I think whoever comes out of that one, I think they're the better team, if we're going to be honest. The Cowboys, because of Dak and CeeDee, they're the only reason that they're still alive. But the defense is banged up for the Cowboys. Micah still hasn't played. I think he missed his third game. Hopefully, he can play this week and get back on the field and really give the Cowboys a good chance to win. 17 through 20, you see three NFC West teams here, the Cardinals, Rams, and Seahawks. Then I have to have the Bengals here dropping 5 spots. After their ugly loss at home to the Eagles, I thought Bengals were going to win. I picked them to win last week. I thought it was really going to be the one game that changes this story of the season, but unfortunately it didn't. They get the Raiders at home, must win for the Bengals there. Seahawks ugly loss to the Bills, and they play the Rams this week. Rams big win on Thursday night. They travel to Seattle, and they're 3-4, and a whole lot better now with Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua back. Cardinals great win in Miami. I think it was overshadowed by Tua's return. That the Cardinals are playing some good football right now. 4-4, 2-0 in their last 2 games. Beat the Chargers, beat the Dolphins. I get that they're not top 5 teams, but wins are wins in the NFL. And let's say they can beat the Bears at home. They're 5-4. They could possibly be leading this division at this time next week. 13 through 16. Start at 16. The last team in the NFC West are the Niners. Beat the Cowboys at home. Head into the bye week 4-4. Looking to get healthy. That's all this team cares about right now is getting healthy. Can they do it? I hope so. McCaffrey is expected to return week 10. Mason hopefully will be his backup after he hurt his shoulder on Sunday. And Kittle obviously looks good. Debo hopefully can be fully recovered. This offense is losing a lot of pieces, but the bye week comes at a perfect time for those Niners. Bucks lose and they drop to 15 against the Falcons. Huge game at home in a divisional game as well for first place in the division. Lose that, and you get rewarded with a Monday night game in Kansas City. So the Bucks definitely have tough sledding ahead of them. Their wide receiver room has taken a hit, and I'm surprised that one, they either haven't made for a trade or really two, featured a rookie guy like McMillan to step up and be that guy. But Cade Otton looks like a beast, and he looks like he's going to be wide receiver one for a little bit. Chargers, Falcons both get wins. Ladd McConkey had a career day against the Saints. Falcons really did what they had to do to beat the Bucks. And Chargers go into Cleveland. Like I already said, Chargers go in there. They're 5-3. Could, possibly win the AFC West, if we're gonna be honest, if the Chiefs start to fall. But Falcons need a win this week to get that lead in the NFC South, grow that division lead. 9 through 12, you see two NFC North teams here. At 9, you got the Vikings dropping all the way from 3 to 9. Tough loss on the road to the Rams, but they've lost two straight, and I think that's cause for concern at this point. So it is a little concerning there that they're losing, but they do play the Colts this week in a good game, good matchup on Sunday night. That'll be exciting to see. Hopefully Sam Darnold and Flacco will duel it out. Eagles and Broncos both move up after some good wins there. Broncos keep finding ways to win. Eagles look like they've turned a page and are starting to play some good football. Then the Bears, I mean, just the last play of the game. I know the Bears fans are going through it, so we'll just want to talk about that. In 5 through 8, got my Packers at 8. Big win on the road in Jacksonville after Love goes down. Hopefully it's a week-to-week injury because they have a bye week 10, so I would be shocked, honestly, if Love plays this game. I get it's the Lions at home for first place in the division, but what do you want? Do you want Love the rest of the year, or do you want Love to injure it the week before his bye and possibly out multiple weeks? So if I'm coaching, depending, obviously I don't know all the background stuff and behind the scenes, but I would bench Love this week just for precautionary and hopefully get him right healthy coming out of the bye week. And the Texans, Steelers both get wins as well. Texans defeating the Colts by 3. Steelers winning on Monday Night Football by 8. And I think the Steelers 6-2 at this point. Very good football team, winning the AFC North. And I don't know, they find ways to win games. It's Steeler football. Mike Tomlin could be a top 5 coach of all time. And that's my take. Never had a losing season. Ravens, tough loss on the road to the Browns. Hopefully they can get right against a tough Broncos defense this week. And I think that's going to be a huge game for AFC playoff implications. 1 through 4. 1 and 2 stay the same. Obviously, the Chiefs undefeated. Lions, 1 loss, and they're at number 2, destroying the Titans. Bills move up to 3 with their dominant win on the road in Seattle. I thought that was kind of a game where I think I could see the Bills playing letdown football and Josh Allen struggling against a good defense, but I was proven wrong. Seahawks didn't show up. Bills did, played some good football. They play the Dolphins at home this week. And the Commanders, obviously, we got to talk about that game. The Hail Mary. Jaden Daniels did enough to win that game. They just couldn't convert in the red zone. They had a lot of field goals. The better team won it in that situation. I think they finally got rewarded there on that Hail Mary. And they're 6-2, go into New York against the Giants, who pretty much are playing for a draft pick at this point, is what it feels like. I expect the Commanders to get that win, move to 7-2, and this Commanders team is going to be very scary down the stretch if they can keep this play up. That's going to be it from our Week 9 power rankings. Check back next week to see where your team ranks. But until the next time, the Bench Buddies are out.